Yeah, Hasbro quite literally asked us, how badly do you want Hound? Yeah, we wanted him that badly. Oh, hello everyone, welcome back to Outside the Box. I am making an effort to catch up with the backlog to the backlog, and man, do we have a doozy today. Oh, this is one that has been sitting in there for quite a few months. Obviously, we know a few things have jumped the line, right? Finally making good today. Oh, shoot. It's not just the thing that I thought it was. Let me take out a couple of other items first. Ooh, here we have DNA Designs, DK number 44, upgrade kit for Studio Series 102 Optimus Prime. Man, this was like forever ago that I pre-ordered this. What looks to be a pretty awesome upgrade kit for that great Studio Series Prime, right? Which, truth be told, when I get to the eventual repaint for that guy, he may very well replace the first Studio Series Optimus Prime from the Bumblebee movie. They're all getting replaced, man. It's kind of sad. I don't know if this will come up very well on camera with all of the glare, but some great upgrade pieces for that Optimus Prime. Some new shoulder bits. Had a weird articulation point, if I remember. Some improvements on the feet, it looks like. More movie accurate weapons, which I was kind of bummed out. We went back to the whole arm transforming into weapon thing. It looks so much better with the Ion Blaster that we saw in the Bumblebee movie, so I'm definitely going to keep that at least. But some nice battle axes, some blades. Oh, and that little dude, what's his name? I don't even remember his name. Haven't really gone back to rewatch Rise of the Beast. I don't know if I ever will, really. I thought it was a fine movie. Not without its issues, right? I don't know what these bits are for. Oh, here we have a couple of blast effects in a little baggie here. These blue pieces, I'm not sure where they go, but I'm sure we'll find out here soon enough. Okay, so here's a little tiny figure of that human character, and this is after he, spoilers for Rise of the Beast, if you haven't seen it yet. This is after he uses parts of Mirage, or Mirage kind of turns himself into an exosuit for this guy. So I think some of the stylings are based off of the Mirage from the movie. It's a very nice sculpt too. Obviously it's not articulated, but I don't know if it comes up on camera. He seems to have a little bit of panel lining work done to him, which is kind of surprising. I wouldn't have expected that. A little bit of red paint. Otherwise, just gray plastic. That's fine. I never picked up the core class version of this guy. They look perfectly fine. Definitely, the proportions are chunkified because he does actually transform. He looks like a fine little figure. I don't know if I'll actually use this. Maybe I will. I don't know. Now, I do have Prime deep in that Studio Series box, so I'm not really going to dig him out right now. We'll just take a quick look at some of the pieces here. This is supposed to be like an updated shoulder, and it does improve the articulation. I think to just look a little bit more normal in bot mode. I think Prime does a thing where when you move the arm out, this shoulder bit is like way up high, so it looks kind of weird. This is supposed to fix that, so I'm thankful for it. I'm not sure what the trouble was with his feet though. I don't remember having any issues with them, but we get some new updated feet. The molding looks great on these. The plastic feels great. Oh, it's got a toe hinge. Nice. Look at that. That is cool. I do appreciate the added articulation. Definite improvement. Okay, all right. I dig that. Very cool. And even though, again, I don't really care for these stylings of weapons, I appreciate getting some that are much more movie accurate. I'm sure plenty of people out there love to have these to display with their figures, so that's cool to have. And you get two of them too. Very nice molded detail on here, not bad. Okay, this, I'm not sure what the hell this is for. It looks like it's some kind of a small handgun. I don't know that it's actually that. It's got a hinge here. Yeah, it might just be to replace an existing part. I'm not sure. Let's take a look at the book here real quick. Oh, the feet are just on ball joints. That's super easy. You do have to take apart some screws for the shoulder bits. Easier than having to punch out some pins though. Oh, okay. So it looks like the little handgun looking bit goes around the legs, I guess behind them. Maybe to fill out some emptiness on there. I'm not too sure. But I'm sure it'll look better with them on there. Oh, I see. There's a hinge. I guess by default, Optimus Prime has these pegs behind the legs where they connect for vehicle mode. And what these do is that they add a hinge so that they move away in bot mode. Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime does that on the bottom of the feet, which is always appreciated. Just makes it look a little bit more cleaner in bot mode. So yeah, this is definitely cool to improve this figure. And obviously the weapons, you just kind of peg them on. Those are not permanent. Huh, interesting, okay. Looks like there's some pieces that you can add to the trailer that obviously he didn't come with. This looks like the trailer for Earthrise Optimus Prime, and then just giving you extra options to store those weapons on that trailer. That's a really cool option. I'm glad they included that. Oh, also looks like another little detail. The top of the smokestacks here, you can rotate them around to have them the proper orientation in either vehicle or bot mode. That is good stuff. Man, I do love improvements like that. It just sucks that we have to get a third-party kit to kind of like more or less complete these figures, you know? But alas, it's our lot in life. All right, good stuff there. And we have yet another DNA design kit. This one, number 43 for Gamer Edition Optimus Prime. He has quite a few things here. Let's open this one up. Oh, okay. Whoa, mama. Look at the size of this axe. Oh my God. All right, I need to open this up. Even though I'm not gonna be using these anytime soon. That just looks glorious. Oof, man, that is beefy. You gotta be careful where you're swinging this thing. Gorgeous. I love the gradient shading that we have here on the blade. There's the clear plastic orange that turns a little bit yellowish here on the edges, but then there's like the solid gray here on the end. I'd have to check and see how it actually looked in the game to determine if that's how I'm going to recreate it myself, because I would like to get it as accurate as possible. This looks good though. I know it has a mechanic where I think you can split this one up. No. That was a mechanic of the one that comes with it, right? This is just the way it is. I believe in the cutscenes, the blade had one section that was curving, but in other parts it just had that curving section like on both ends. So I appreciate the one that comes included, you can open it up for that. Man, having a bigger one like this though just looks a bit cleaner. It looks like there's a hinge here though. Could that not open up? Oh, well this comes off. Okay, so it does hinge open, but looks like it, what is it doing? Okay, well this section here on the end folds up from up here. I mean, it just kind of pops off, but you kind of rotate it down here. And then it just says you open it up, but that doesn't really make sense. This piece kind of wants to come off though. No, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. I mean, it looks good like this, but then I just remove this piece. I mean, I guess you can leave it on there. Is that what you're supposed to do though? I think so, yeah, there's a peg on there. Okay, well, this still doesn't look overly clean. You've got like a double bladed section on this bottom part here. Still though, it's a nice look overall. I think it does accomplish the look a little bit better than the OG one. This just really pops off though. Oh, now it just, not only did it pop off, it came off of the gray plastic backing itself. I mean, just pop it right back on though, but I don't know, man. Okay, all right. It's still impressive. It's an impressive piece. All right, great axe there. Wait a minute, there's a second axe. It is exactly the same as the first. Yep, same one, okay. Although, oh yeah, it does. It does have the other part of the handle. Thought it would have been kind of weird if it didn't include it, but. So two full-on axes here. Kind of weird how one of them came in a bag. I guess that was like a last-minute addition. Hey, you know what? Throw it in there, all right. I know that DNA Design sometimes adds little extras for like their first run of these kits. And I know I pre-ordered as soon as it was available to pre-order. Okie dokie, what else do we have here? I mean, just some generic bits to kind of fill out certain sections. This piece here on the side of the legs, I guess so they're not as hollow. There's this little section right in here. I think one of the more impressive ones has got to be this bit. It has half of a wheel here, and I think it's mostly meant for robot mode to make it look more identical of how he is in the game. There's just, I think, that extra wheel that looks like it's popping out the back. So I'm glad that's included. Here though, this one's very interesting. You get this section, blue plastic, but it has some very shiny, chromy red on there to much better recreate how the red glowing effect looks in the game. And I think this is to fill out the back of vehicle mode. You can see that right there. There are two pieces. Otherwise, I think it's just like the fists that are just kind of hanging out there, or is it the feet? One or the other. And we can connect the two just to kind of have an idea how they end up looking together here. Very interesting that they decided to paint this that way. I mean, I think it would just make this section stick out from the rest of the bot or even the vehicle. Obviously, we're going to repaint the whole thing someday, one of these days. And so I would definitely do a paint job that would match all around. But to have just this one piece with this bright chromy paint, it looks nice, but I think it's gonna stand out a little bit. Still cool that they did that. And what else? Just some tiny gray bits to fill this sucker out. Okay, very nice. I'm gonna take this guy apart. I have to assume that DNA is gonna offer something for Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. I have no idea what kind of improvements they would offer. I'm actually maybe more looking forward to one for Swoop at this point. They've done one for every Dinobot, and we know Swoop could use some help, right? All right, good stuff, good stuff. Now, on to the big one. I think that's it. Here we have Transformers Legacy United, 5 bots. We've got Jazz, we've got Sunstreaker, Trailbreaker, Wheeljack, and Hound. And yeah, for all intents and purposes, if you wanted to get a Hound, this was a way to do it. Man, what a travesty that ended up being, huh? Ay, ay, ay. So just as a recap, we had some renders leak. Wasn't officially announced. What was going to be a Buzzworthy Bumblebee release for Hound. Buzzworthy Bumblebee was the exclusive line in Target, and for whatever reason it never came out, right? I think there was even a line from somebody at Hasbro, I don't know if it was one of the designers, to ask Target why it hasn't come out yet. I don't know. I don't know how these deals work, right? But ironically enough, a repaint or a remold, a retooling. No, it wasn't a retooling, just a repaint of the Tritus was out, and I hadn't even realized that it was already out. I just saw it on Amazon. Decided to pick it up, thought it was a perfect project to turn him into Hound instead of having to wait. And man, it was a really good project. I really enjoyed it. But it sucks that for folks that do not customize, they had to wait. And then once he was out, you had to get a whole 5-pack to get him. That, to me, oof, it's like almost shameful. Really, Hasbro? But you know what? They know exactly what they're doing. And here we are buying it, huh? Now, there are some changes to these bots. Let me go ahead and get these out of here. Okay. Yeah, you might be asking where I'm buying this. I've already customized 2 of these. But for me, it was Trailbreaker. I never picked this guy up. I think he was out during the Earthrise run. I don't quite remember. But for whatever reason, he kind of escaped me. So for me, I thought it was a good time to try to grab him here. But the change to these old molds is that they're no longer using any clear plastic, which was a point of concern for a lot of fans. Depending on how the clear plastic is used, if it's used for any important hinges or if anything pegs into them, ooh, it can affect the survivability of the figure itself, right? So I guess they wanted to offer this as a make good. Still though, man, a 5-pack, that's pushing it. That's really pushing it. And what's ironic is that for Trailbreaker, he was the first one that was offered in the Masterpiece line that I pre-ordered, but that's where I decided to just stop. And I ended up just canceling that pre-order, so this is gonna be the guy for me. And you know what? He looks great. He looks fantastic. Oh, this guy looks very nice. And yeah, that opaque blue windshield really does pop. I don't know if I would use the same shade of blue when I do the eventual repaint. Probably not, but I like that a lot. Very good stuff. They did add some facial lines. I don't know if he's supposed to be like an older bot. Does he have a grumpy face on him? Oh my God. I would not want to be caught dead walking on his lawn. No, sir. He does have some accessories here. And I guess the camper section comes off. Probably uses some kind of a shield maybe. What I love on this guy though, which is very faithful to G1, he's got these 2 little weapon bits on the top back that they do hinge back. You can fold them back, I'm guessing for the vehicle mode, but they fold out perfectly for the bot mode there. I love that. That is some good stuff, man. Hell yeah. He's not black. I think he's mostly portrayed as black, right? This is like not even that dark of a gray. It is a dark gray, but it's more gray. Does that make sense? No, probably not. He's definitely lighter than I would have anticipated him to look though, right? He's got the nice Autobot symbol here in the front. Again, as I've always said this before, having a red Autobot symbol over a dark plastic darkens the red of the symbol itself. You can improve that by having a white backing underneath it, but you know, for whatever case, it just didn't do that. I know that canonically there are some Transformers in G1 that have a white border over their Autobot symbol, but I'm not exactly talking about that. I'm just talking about putting white underneath where the red is would make the red pop. And you see that with a lot of like water slide decals. The good thing is that I think the dry transfer decals that I use automatically have the white backing, so it should pop regardless whenever I do this eventual repaint, because I probably would go with a black myself or an even darker gray. I'm not too sure. This is the camper part. I like the colors added here on the side. I'm not sure if the repaint job on this guy is different than the original release. I think it might be. These are supposed to be a little bit more faithful to how they look in the cartoon, from my understanding anyways. Yeah, it looks like those are very thin, flat peg section that folds out the back here, and it connects to the bottom of the trailer here. Cool, and that stays on there like that. Very good stuff. More of that Very nice light blue, powdery blue sticking out there. And then just some weapons. Oh yeah, does this guy not have both hands in the G1 cartoon? Is he like Shockwave? Because this weapon here, it's going to cover up the entirety of the fist. Yeah, I think that's how it is, right? All right, so that's how we're going to achieve that here, right? Yeah, okay, yeah, that covers it up entirely. Well, from the top and the sides anyways. That's that look there. Not so clean here in the bottom. That's okay though. Minor stuff. Minor stuff. Has a little bit of a hollow legs here on the back. It's not too bad though. I like this. I like this. I do like the overall proportions of this figure. I know that the Masterpiece one, again, because they're trying to be really faithful to the G1 cartoon, I don't know, man, the proportions on that one didn't really do it for me. So I'm glad to have this guy. Just sucks that I had to buy a 5-pack to get him. All right, let's take a look at the ones that I've already worked on here. Look at this guy. Oof. Who do you think you are? Oh, it's the Hound. Okay, yeah. Wow, so surreal, man. The mold. The mold is originally, again, from Siege Hound, right? Look at that. Very nice. It recreates the colors from the cartoon because the wench section here was this color, I think, in the show. I believe so. I ended up doing mine a little bit more realistic. I think I did like the silver. I do have them here. We'll have a bit of a comparison. But yeah, considering that it was a retooling of the Siege mold, which was not a Jeep, I think they did a pretty good job overall. I always do prefer a brand new mold if ever possible, but it's not too shabby. That's a shoulder weapon right here. Super hollow, and it still, of course, does separate. Yeah, that connection though, wow, it feels less secure in this guy. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Look at that. Look at that. That's not very good, but looks good with it though. Now, bring out the one that I did. And, you know, it's obviously hard to compare a figure that's fully repainted to one that's factory, but just simply because I worked on this guy before this guy came out, you know. I'm still obviously very happy with the repaint that I did, going with that very flat militaristic green for him. Of course, I do have that 3D printed Jeep front grille section, so you can see how you can improve them on that. This, again, it's not bad, but you know, because it's not a licensed figure, they've got to make it look different from the actual Jeep. Crazy stuff though, man. The bit of yellow that it's missing that I can see though is on the, I guess like the bicep section. He's missing that extra stripe of yellow in that area there. So that kind of sucks. That kind of sucks. I'm surprised he has it on the crotch plate though. That's one section that I thought they would have just missed out, but I think it was like that in the render too, right? Also, there is, and I'll show you a close-up here. Sorry, close-up of a crotch coming in. A very tiny section on the crotch, right above the yellow stripe that is green. And I would have bet $1,000 that would not have been painted, but yet it is here. So props for that, I guess. You know, I am going to transform this guy here real quick because I do want to show one thing here. Do I remember how to transform this guy? Yep, this is it. Still makes a fine-looking Jeep, but it's not too shabby. Looks good. Now, the irony is that these figures have been fixed by not having the clear plastic, and it took us so long to get Hound, and I really do think he is the one figure who would have benefited from having a clear plastic window here for the windshield, only because it's a Jeep. Everything else is open. You're not really blocking any robot bits on the inside. It would have just looked a lot better with a clear windshield, I think. Not a deal breaker though. I mean, at the very least, it does look more cartoony though, right? And the other guy that I've already worked on, yeah, this guy is still just a fantastic representation of Jazz. And it does do some things different than just the Studio Series 86 Jazz that we originally got, apart from not having the clear plastic, which I think on this guy's a much more benefit, because man, there are some parts that get extremely dicey when transforming him. Yeah, that section there is super scary. God, would I even do another customization just to have one that's without any clear plastic? I don't know. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. He's a character that was the most extensive with the decals as well. Some very intricate work that went into it, which again, we'll do a comparison here. Obviously, my repaint wasn't trying to recreate the cartoon look. I do prefer them a little bit more realistic. So we've got all of the livery from the actual 911 Turbo Porsche. And I love those extra details on Jazz. I really do. But ironically enough, I appreciate how this guy also has the striping here on the rear wheel wells that the 86 version didn't have. So he's got that going for him. I think the striping itself looked a little bit different on 86 Jazz. I have that extra copy here somewhere from that Walmart 2-pack. I'm not gonna dig it out though. But yeah, it's still a fantastic Jazz, right? Yes, I'm gonna transform him. Man, that transformation was kind of, I don't know. Jesus, but once you're there, it's great. I'm reminded how just some pieces, because of the color of the plastic underneath, it kind of detracts in the vehicle mode, namely this black plastic parts, which end up making the legs. We did, of course, fix that for our repaint. The feet, however, because they kind of make the back bumper, I'm pretty sure Studio Series has the bottom parts in white. Did somebody correct me if I'm wrong there? It just sticks out so much now that it's all in gray. Wow, yeah, that's really out there. It bothers me that the blue striping, okay, it's a very nice blue here in the center, but it's using the lighter blue here on the sides, the same blue that they use for the windows, that lighter powdery blue. It's not matching. I didn't even realize that. Jesus, I thought they did a good thing and they flubbed it. Never mind, I take that back. I take back the good stuff I said, Hasbro, wow. It still has some of the same problems that the original one had from Studio Series. Because this white middle piece of plastic is a softer kind. You can't really paint it. I mean, I painted mine, but Hasbro doesn't really paint it on theirs because it doesn't tend to stick on there. But just having it white really sticks out though. I mean, overall, it's not a bad vehicle mode. Still some good stuff. You can get a good sticker set. I know from Toy Hacks, they have a good set that'll really help to complete the look of the figure too. So you have that option. Put this guy right here. Okay, so now we have two left that I do own, but they're original incarnations. So now we have these versions without clear plastic. And I think I am gonna just stick with these instead of the original ones. Here we have Sunstreaker, which I never unboxed on the channel. I wasn't doing that at that point. So we get to see him here. He's got his weapons, what ends up being like the engine part in the back. Now it's painted in a very nice silver. The weapon is not, just in a gray plastic. Now the Masterpiece version of Sunstreaker, fantastic figure. I love him. I'm looking at him right there. Great stuff. Obviously, something that's in the main line isn't gonna really live up to that. Although they can usually do things better, like as far as proportions or detailing and whatnot. But Sunstreaker Masterpiece version, so good, so good. This guy's a very good figure, especially considering that they're not gonna get the license for this mainline figure. No Lamborghini looking car. I mean, it looks like a Lamborghini, which is important at the very least, but it's not gonna be an exact one-to-one to the original vehicle. I will say that the one thing that bothers me about this is the chest. What they did was they don't give us the entirety of the windows on the sides or even the entirety of the windshield because it would make the chest kind of too big, right? But what they did instead, they cut into it, which is fine. What I have an issue is the shape of it. It's just like a perfect square, and that sticks out supremely bad. That is so hideous, especially how the bottom of the windshield is just really flat. That really does bother me. If it would have had a little bit of a curvature at least, it would have helped to kind of hide the look a little bit, but man, that blocky chest does not do it for me at all. And it kind of sucks that it's like front and center right there. I don't know if there would be a way to modify that because the rest of the windshield and side windows end up being here on the back of the leg. I think if we try to take some of this off and re-add it to the chest, maybe we can do that. And you know, the fact that it's no longer clear plastic would probably make that a little bit more feasible. I don't know. I mean, the sides I'm okay with. It's just, at the very least, the bottom of the chest, man. Okay, but that's really the only thing, right? Look at the detailing here in the shins, man. Look at that. That is some good stuff, man. I love it. I would really try and pick out all of that extra detail with some nice dry brushing. That would look excellent too. Good stuff. And that head sculpt. A lot of times Sunstreaker can be hard to get a good head sculpt because they either go for the original toy look, which I don't think looked bad, but it wasn't all that great. But you know, it was cleaned up in the cartoon for a reason, and this definitely gives us that. Super good stuff. I love it. And you see the silvery bit for the engine here in the back. Man, that's really a good silver paint. Wow, it's got a shine to it. Hitting into a chrome look, obviously not entirely, but man, good stuff there. Also, what I do appreciate, I'm the type of guy that I'm okay with full parts. Having a fake chest, I'm okay with it, as long as they do a good job of hiding the actual part within the vehicle or on the back somewhere. And one thing that's really smart that what they did was that on the feet, these aren't the actual fronts of the vehicle. They're molded so that they kind of flip and you get the actual vehicle parts here at the bottom. That's super cool. Now, the only concerning part, when we do the eventual repaint, it's gonna be painted down there and it's gonna be like a very glossy yellow. It tends to not hold up well, even if you're not really doing a lot of like movement with them, just kind of sitting on the shelf, on the display case, it's gonna affect the paint down there. Let me show you the bottom of Jazz's feet. Woof. I could probably clean these a little bit. I mean, especially because it's white paint too. You see how it's kind of picking up some dirt there? We could clean that up, but that's going to be something that we need to watch out for, right? Here, it's not painted. It's just yellow plastic. Yeah, there's a little bit of silver. We have the Autobot symbol on there as well. Oh, God. But the fact that they remolded some properly looking feet on the other side, I like that. I like that. That is cool, man. That is cool. In fact, you know what? Let's get them transformed into the vehicle mode and take a look at it. I'm going to try to do it without the instructions. It's been a minute since I've transformed this guy, but they're not complicated, right? All right, here we go. Half the vehicle already done. This has to pop out. What if I just gently force it? No, there's no hinge there. Oh, that's another rotation. Wow. Oh, shoot. I didn't realize. Okay, well, great vehicle mode. Now, the original ones had spoilers. Did they not? I think they did. And these don't, but I think Sunstreaker had a silver spoiler. Is that what they're trying to go for here? Because that looks freaking cool, man. That looks really good. Obviously, we add the engine bit here in the back. I think there's some aftermarket parts to recreate that look, especially for, I think it's Earthrise Sideswipe, because he doesn't have that engine block on the back. I'm not going to add the weapon back here, but I didn't realize that. I'm pretty sure that the original one doesn't have this paint section silver back here, right? I don't think so. It's in the box somewhere. I'm not going to go back there and check. This guy looks fantastic. This is insanely good vehicle mode. And yeah, even though it's not one-to-one with the Lamborghini Countach, it looks fantastic, man. It looks great. I'm actually shocked how they're able to add some design elements that are obviously lifted from that vehicle, but it's just different enough where they could get away with it. The back, I can see myself just repainting this long strip, just like a red. I think that's a design element of like the more modern Lamborghinis. I'm not sure. It looks great though. Looks great. Maybe add in some more yellow back there to mix it in a little bit better, but then it would get in the way of the bot mode look too. So, you know, stuff we got to figure out. Yeah, this is good. I'm not even gonna add the weapon back here. You can't really peg it on the back because the engine block gets in the way. Thankfully, there's no other peg holes on the sides. I want this to be as clean as possible. I guess you can just kind of do this on the side, and that looks like crap. That looks like crap. I'm gonna leave it like that for right now, though. Hey, you know what? We didn't transform Trailbreaker. Why didn't we do that? I might need the instructions for this guy though. Okay, we'll get to Jack. We'll get to Jack in a second here. Oh wow, you don't get separate instruction booklets. You get a massive sheet of paper. What the hell is this? What is this? Oh, Hasbro. Okay, he's in chapter 5. Oh, okay. 16 steps, that's not bad. Jeez, that is some very close clearance there, man. Okay, all right. This can go on top. The transformation was pretty good. Everything does kind of clank into place. The very last bit though, where you're folding the arms back underneath, they're extremely visible. And then the way they had them in the instruction booklet was with the fingers outward, making it even more visible that the hands are out there. So I just kind of rotated them back. So you see the back of the hand at least, but still though. And the clearance is like, man, just a hair free right there. It does roll pretty free though. Okay, so the frustrating bit is that there is just so much room in here that I wish there was some other transformation gimmick that they could have done for this. I know because it's a main line, there's only so much they can do, but geez, man, I don't know about that. Just apart from that though, everything else does look great. The other little minor nitpick that I'm gonna give, having the side window section kind of broken up for the transformation, not the cleanest of looks. There's a part that ends up folding out for the arms, but that's okay. That's okay. I do actually much prefer on this guy, the solid windows, as opposed to the clear plastic. You would have seen a lot of just robot nonsense on the inside, I think. So it works very good for Trailbreaker. Good stuff there. The back, it's kind of so-so. We do have some nice red paint for the rear lights here, but the knee sections are very much sticking out. Sadly, couldn't be pushed in enough to have something else cover that up. Okay, not the most perfect of figures, right? But overall though, I think the guy still looks great. I am noticing there's very subtle paint difference. Here for the front grille, it's like a glossy gray for the bumper grille section, but on the headlights, it's more of like a pearlescent gray, definitely more shiny. I think it does come up on camera a little bit. I appreciate that. Well, I guess more like a silver, right? Glossy gray and silver. Okay, that works. You can have this weapon here on top. I mean, okay, cool. The other one though, it doesn't seem like it goes anywhere else. No other peg holes on the side, which I'm thankful for. Nothing here in the bottom to maybe store it in. Lord knows you have the room. No? Okay, no. No, nothing on that guy. But that's the vehicle mode for Trailbreaker. Not the cleanest thing in the world, but it's not bad. Okay, one other last minor nitpick. The wheel here, very nice rim, silver and paint. The one in the back, what the F, man? What? Ah, so close. Maybe I should get the Masterpiece Edition instead. No. We're not going that route. Maybe there's a way to add some kind of an aftermarket rim section for that. I did just recently complete Drag Strip. He's off camera here. And spoilers, I did use some third-party rims to cover up that peg hole looking mushroom section. It does a ton of difference. Drag Strip's wheels though are different where the wheel fits more towards the inside of the wheel itself because of the way that it's designed. It's an F1 car. This though, it's sitting like right on the edge. So if we put something on there, that rim's gonna be sticking out a little bit, which I think I might be okay, but then it's really not gonna match the other rim looking section. So I don't know. It is what it is though. Put that guy there. We'll put this right here in the front for it. Okay. Last but not least, we have Wheeljack here. Although I have customized an excellent mold of Wheeljack, it's not this one. We did famously do Wheeljack from the Bumblebee movie. May he forever rest in peace. Now, again, the paint job here, from my understanding, is different from the original. Is this Siege? No, this was Earthrise, I think. Well, the original offering for Wheeljack, other than having the solid window pieces, I think the paint job for the vehicle is meant to be more in tune with the cartoon, whereas the original one had more tampagraphs on the livery, which were very creative. I do have them in the backlog. Just some made-up Cybertronian companies to imitate the original vehicle that it was based off. Don't ask me what it's called, I forget. Lancia. Lancia something, right? Yes. Well, this one doesn't have that. You're asked out. But again, that's not what they're going for here. They want to give us something different. Something to justify buying this 5-pack, right? Oof, okay, anywho. Here we have a very much a G1 inspired Wheeljack. Overall looking great. Hey, you remember what I said about Sunstreaker? Is Wheeljack a retooling of Sunstreaker? I never thought about that. Is that a thing? Okay, maybe we're gonna find out during the transformation, but this guy has the same #1 issue as Sunstreaker. This chest piece is just a square, man. And I think it's much more noticeable for Wheeljack because famously, the windshield part of the vehicle has that swooping section in the bottom, and here it kind of starts it. It kind of starts it, but it's just completely cut off. Now, part of the reason why they did that is because it would be overly large in the bot mode. I get it. This is where if they could have figured out a way to have like a faux section like that, I would have been okay with it. No, they just kind of cut it off. Now, it's not on the back of the legs, but I see where it gets folded in. Yeah, so here on the inner leg, we see where that other section ended up being, which correct me if I'm wrong, this was clear plastic in the original figure, and that's very dicey to have it there too. So again, at least it's no longer clear at this point. Yeah, and if we wanted to try to fix this, I don't think there's a way to do so because you need that extra bit of plastic that's inside the leg to complete the look for the vehicle mode. So that kind of sucks. And the other thing that I'll mention that kind of does irk me, I believe the wing bits here on the back, they end up turning into the spoiler, which is, it's very clever, right? I like that. But the way that they're oriented, they're hardly sticking out at all. They're like little stubs here on the back, and I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect it. You see the entirety of what it ends up being. I wish there was a way to maybe extend it. That would look a heck of a lot better. I'm sure there's gonna be other options available out there, or maybe just have some that are styled just like the wings in bot mode, and then just have to swap them out for these for the vehicle mode. I would be okay with that. I'm fine. But yeah, they just literally fall a little bit short. Now, what's cool, he always has the little bit of extra kibble on the back of the hands here, pieces of the car. Sometimes it even wraps around the bottom of the fist. He has that in G1. I think he even has that in the cartoon. I believe so. I think Masterpiece has that as well to just kind of recreate that look. I prefer a cleaner look, but that's okay. Here, it's molded into the fist itself, so there's nothing that you can really do about that. That's just staying the way that it is. Okay, cool. No worries. Now, the Autobot symbol on this guy, because it's on white plastic, look at how shiny that looks. That is a very bright red, and the red around it, equally so. Very good stuff. He does have a little bit of that green right here in the middle, and more on the legs as well. Not as much color as the toy itself, because again, it's going for the cartoon look. Okay, cool. That head sculpt though is just beautiful. I love that. That is classic G1 Wheeljack. That is really good. That is really, really good. He does have a weapon here that, ironically enough, does not look familiar at all. What the hell is this? What the hell is this? It doesn't look like a shoulder cannon. Did he actually have some kind of a blaster in the G1 cartoon? I have the masterpiece. There, it looks like he's got a little small silvery blaster. Nothing to the size of this. And I don't even think there's a way to connect it. He does have some very thin, square peg holes here on top where you can connect something. But that's the only weapon he comes in. That's just almost like a rifle-ish kind of a thing. I like it. It's a nice design. I don't think that's anything from G1 though. I don't even know if the original Earthrise version or Siege version. Was it Siege? I don't remember. But the original version, I don't know if he came with this exact same weapon, so you'd have to let me know. I'd have to check it from the box to confirm, but I think this one is probably going to replace that one as well. Very, very nice bot mode. Let's go ahead and check out the vehicle here. Once again, I'm not going to transform it, and as I'm doing it, I'm going to keep in mind if it is similar to Sunstreaker. I mean, if it is, it's a heavy retooling. I think it is. There's enough similarities. Oh, this does not want to get back in here. Only because it's a double hinge, it's kind of tricky to pop back in. There you go. They made enough changes to make Wheeljack seem like his own thing, but it's just unfortunate. The same shortcomings of the bot look for Sunstreaker do carry over to this Wheeljack. This part rotates around just the same. Oh, that's a little bit different. Okay. There we go. Yeah, that is a nice spoiler. Nice and secure, nice and snug. Yeah, that is a fine, decent looking vehicle mode, worthy of Wheeljack. The only, I guess the tractor, the cartoon model did lack quite a bit of color compared to the original vehicle, the Lancia. And I have to imagine so it wasn't as tricky to, or as difficult to animate because there was just so much going on with the vehicle mode. So they really simplified it as far as how many colors are on here. A lot of white, but at least it's not like an off-white. We've got a numbering back here, 638. I know that's not accurate. They probably added an extra number. I can barely see my model kit from here. I don't know what it is. I mean, for me, just as we did with Jazz, I would definitely give this guy a repaint to try to make it look as accurate to the real world vehicle that it's based off of. It would be a little bit of an undertaking because it would also involve quite a lot of decals and whatnot, but I think it would look that much better for it. This is still not bad though. Again, they weren't going for that. They weren't trying to recreate that, going for more of the cartoon look. And I have to say that they accomplished that. That powder blue does look good. The weapon, that's what that looks like. Great, okay, take that out of here. Well, grab another sip. Oh. Good stuff. You know, this is a set that I have very mixed emotions about. I mean, at the end of the day, it's hard to see it as anything else but a shameless cash grab for Hasbro. But hey, that's capitalism, right? We got our Hound. And what did it cost us? More than we bargained for, maybe? I don't know. I am glad to finally have a Trailbreaker. I am glad I have these new options for Wheeljack and Sunstreaker without the clear plastic. Obviously, if I had not customized Jazz at this point, I definitely would have worked on this guy instead. But I'm glad I used the Tritus for Hound, though. That wouldn't have changed. I don't know if the set is still widely available. I don't know if I can recommend it. I mean, if you have all of these figures except for Hound, you really just want the Hound, it's up to you, man. You know, only you can decide if this is worth it. Maybe it will also replace your existing figures as well with the solid plastic, but then we got to decide what to do with the ones we already have, right? eBay welcomes you, more than likely. But you know what? I thank you for watching. I appreciate it very much. And, you know, if you have a furry friend at home, do me a favor. Give them a hug for me. Tell them they're a good boy or a good girl, and tell them I said hi. All right, I'll see y'all very soon. Take care, everybody.